So the next one is the number 6 of Tensegrity. So come onto the side, 6 picture. Come onto the side and you can support your head just so the head comes into neutral. So you don't want to have your head too far up and you don't want to have your head too far down. So stay with your head in the middle. Nice. And then bring the upper leg behind you on the floor. Nice. And your knee will come nice into the neutral. Beautiful. So now you're going to do a cross lateral pattern. So the lower leg and the upper arm are going to move from one another and away from one another. So you can just look in the direction of where you're moving. So you see that your cross lateral line is connecting your left arm and your right leg. That's it. You can look in a direction. Nice. Nice. There is always might be a little bit of clicking, like you may be hearing through the body, and that's okay. This is while the body is adjusting. You can do much less. What if you do much less, so you don't go too far out and you just keep moving a little bit more? And then bring that foot down and extend the left leg up. Beautiful. So we'll come with the leg up to the ceiling slowly. As the leg goes up to the ceiling, the toes are pointing towards the head. As you go down, the toes are pointing towards the window. That's right, coming up and coming down. The lower knee can be a little bit bent if you'd like. I think it will work a little bit more on your stability. Make sure that you're using your navel radiation as opposed to you using your back to lift your leg. You're going to use your core to lift your leg. Nice. And then work within the framework of your comfort zone. The next one, you can what you pay attention to when you do this one is that your foot and your hip are on the same line. So the next one, you can actually hold it in here and go up and down, up and down, up and down from the core, not letting the leg go too far back or too far forward. Otherwise, you're just going to use your muscles instead of connecting this neural core into your center. Beautiful. And then you can go into a circular motion in one direction and then the other direction. Beautiful. This is a little bit more in addition to what we have in Tensegrity series. This is coming from one of the athletic conferences when they were using some exercises to find the optimal work of the pelvic floor and the pelvis, and I'm using those as an add-up to this part of the 5th series. So you can pause here, bend your knee, and then the next one will be keeping the knee up parallel with the pelvis, and then move forward and then back, forward and then back, forward and then back. So this will really extend. Beautiful. While you're keeping your core stable, baby foot is there. Nice. So he's staying very connected to the core. The left hand is helping him to stay balanced down. Okay, and the last one, you're going to extend the leg towards me. Nice, and then lift it up towards the ceiling. And instead of coming towards me this time, you're going to bring that leg slowly up, parallel more towards the floor and in the level of your chest. And from there, slowly lifting up. This one is really engaging the lateral line into the glutes, so it's helping that connection through. It's very strengthening. It's working on the glutes quite a bit. I often call this one a bum maker. So you can really feel it, yeah? And it's almost like a heat producing, and go very slow, especially when you're coming up. Nice. So that's the last one. And you can do with repetition on your own, like for example, you can do maybe 4 or 5. As you're progressing, you may do a little bit more. So come onto your back and extend both of your legs up, and see how you feel. On the ground. Nice. Beautiful. Feel the difference between left and right. And then you can go to the other side. support your head. Nice. So let's bend your knee here, especially the lower knee. And we're going to start with the upper leg. So you're going to find the baby foot. Nice. And then extend this leg up. Yes. And you can see how Jan's foot is totally parallel with his pelvis. So he's not pushing forward. He's just staying balanced. Nice. Using the core to lift the leg up. Lovely. And then staying in this position down and do a very tiny movements of up and down, up and down, up and down from the core. Lovely. And then the next one is the circular motion. Beautiful. Why are we starting with the other leg, might be your question? Because we just worked a lot on the other side and we don't want to use that leg. We want to give it a break. Beautiful. Now you can bend your knee and then move that knee forward and then knee back and maintain your calf connected into your thigh rather than moving too much. Yeah, so you just go very slow, activating. Nice. You want to really make sure that your knee is parallel with all the... I wouldn't recommend this doing without the teacher because the teacher will need to have eyes that you might not have to see some imbalances. Okay, the last one, extending the legs or the leg, and then going up towards the ceiling and then going forward and up towards the... So nice. So you have a little bit less motion in this leg. That's interesting. You see, you're coming more down below the navel. See if you can actually bring it more up towards the belly and towards the chest and see if that works. Yeah, it will take much more of your attention. Yeah. You can look up towards the leg and back down. So this is not something that you're doing every day, right? This is just something that you did sometimes. So of course, right, Jan? Mm-hmm. This is not something you're doing daily. If you're doing daily, you will be totally different. So you see how you brought this leg down? Mm-hmm. You notice that it's not there anymore, that you brought it down? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't suggest ever to go below the navel. So for this last one, you're going to maintain the position right at the navel or higher. But because if the hamstrings are tight, the body was like to compensate and then move the leg lower down. But if that's the case, just stop and don't do anymore. So bring the back foot on the floor and just be where you are. So the back foot will be on the floor. The back foot will be on the floor. And then you're going to use the opposite arm and leg to come towards one another. So you're going to bring a lower leg and upper arm towards one another. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So, yeah. So you're coming. So one thing is that we don't want to rotate the foot. The foot is going to maintain the baby foot. And you're bringing the position and you're looking towards the leg. That's it. So you feel a very strong cross-lateral line. You see now, I mean, tiny little things such as the rotation of the foot can really mess up this posture. So it's very important that you do it properly. So I would say if you don't have a teacher, don't do it. If you've done this before and you're confident, then you can go ahead. Beautiful. And let this be the last one and slowly release and come onto your back.